Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be talking about why we need to forgive and the importance of forgiveness. So I've spoken to some of my friends, and I think just people in general are always quite miserable because they have so much hate and bitterness from that hate. And the way I sort of forgive so often is that I just remember or come to the realization that Jesus has died for our sins, and for every sin um, in it, as long as we believe in Him, receive forgiveness from every sin. And yeah, because He pays the price for it, is why it's important to still repent. But the more you read the Bible, it's like you can come to recognize all these different ways of sinning and just how much we sin in our lives. And it's like, because Jesus is forgiving us and paying the price for all of it, we should show that same level of forgiveness. Another reason as to why it's so important to forgive is because in Matthew chapter 6 verses 14 to 15 it says how if we don't forgive other people, then how can we expect God to forgive us? It's kind of like we've got to show mercy to and forgiveness to everyone, even our enemies and people we don't get along with. It's important to show as much forgiveness as possible, so that you allow God to forgive you when it comes to the day of judgment and He looks at what you've done in your life. It's like very important to just to forgive. That's not to say you shouldn't do anything if something's like annoying you, because then I think it's important to address things that do sort of cause you to have problems. But I think, of course, you've got to talk it out, and so it stops generating these feelings of bitterness. And I think the main important reason as to why to forgive is because then you're not holding grudges, and you don't have these feelings of hate, because from hate comes bitterness. So it's like when you forgive them, it's like in a sense you've moved on. It's like doesn't cause your life to feel so miserable with all these feelings of grudges and hate towards other people. It's because of the new covenant as Jesus' blood, the sort of commandment changes from, instead of just loving one another as you love yourself, or as a way you want to be treated, it's treat others, and Jesus says treat others as I've treated you, as I've loved you. And it's like such an amazing love that He sent, that God has sent His Son to die for us, to pay for all of our sins, and it's like, I guess in that sense we should have try and have the same level of forgiveness towards our neighbours and everyone else. And because Jesus has died for us, and He rose from the dead, it's like we have His blood as the new covenant, and from that, Jesus has sort of changed the command from loving each other and treating each other as the way we'd want to be treated, to love each other as I have loved you. And it's like such an amazing love that God has sent His Son to die for our sins. So we should have that same level of forgiveness, is what Jesus is saying. Just wanted to mention another important reason to forgive is when you're blaming something that someone has done. I think it's quite common for us to also make the same mistake, so like a hypocrite. So by having room for forgiveness and forgiving them, it's kind of like you can't be blamed when you do it yourself later on. Like you won't be judged as much. So I hope you found this video helpful and why it's so important to forgive everyone around us.